Welcome back to our channel, friends. Today is a beautiful, bright day to sit down with a warm cup of coffee and dive deep into the heart of Port Charles. We are absolutely thrilled to have you here with us as we unpack some of the most emotionally charged moments we have seen in a very long time. Grab a cozy blanket, get comfortable, and let us talk about the incredible drama unfolding on our favorite show. I have to tell you, my heart has been racing ever since I watched the latest weekly preview for the episodes airing from August 27th to the 31st. I have been following these storylines so closely, and I simply cannot hold back my feelings about the explosive confrontation that is brewing between Alexis Davis and Willow Kane. When I saw the intense look in Alexis's eyes, I knew we were about to witness something truly monumental. As someone who has watched these characters grow, stumble, and fight for their families, seeing Alexis back Willow into a corner left me absolutely breathless. It is a moment that changes everything, and I am so eager to share every single thought I have about it with you. The sheer audacity of the secret that Alexis dropped on Willow is still spinning in my head. In that gripping preview for the week of August 24th, Alexis makes it crystal clear to Willow that she knows the darkest truth of all. She knows that Willow is the one who shot Drew Kane. When I heard that revelation, I felt a physical chill go down my spine. We all know how heavy a secret like that can be, but to hear it spoken out loud, used as a weapon, is entirely different. Alexis has firmly stated that she will not stay silent about this anymore, and you can just feel the desperation radiating from her. She is a woman on a mission, and heaven help anyone who stands in her way. To truly understand how we got to this breathtaking point, I need to take you back a little bit to the events of Friday, August 14th. I remember watching that episode and feeling a deep ache for Alexis. She was at the Metro Court Gardens, and the tension in the air was so thick you could cut it with a knife. She was having a terrible, heartbreaking argument with Drew. Now that Drew has woken up and recovered, he has made the devastating decision to ban Alexis from seeing her beloved scout. He cruelly accused Alexis of taking advantage of the situation while he was incapacitated. Watching a grandmother being told she cannot see her grandchild is just agonizing. And I felt every ounce of Alexis's pain in that garden. It was in that moment of absolute vulnerability that Jack Brennan stepped out of the shadows. I always get a little nervous when Brennan appears because you just know he is calculating his next 10 moves. He approached a devastated Alexis and dangled a lifeline right in front of her. He offered her a piece of damaging information, real dirt that she could use as leverage against Drew. But, as we all know in Port Charles, a deal with a man like Brennan never comes for free. He wanted something highly valuable in return, and he did not hesitate to ask for it. Brennan's asking price was intelligence regarding Jasper Jack's enterprises. Hearing the name of Alexis's dear friend Jax immediately made my heart sink for her. She has done legal work for JJE, and the bond she shares with Jax is built on years of deep loyalty and trust. The episode ended right on that suspenseful cliffhanger, leaving me to wonder for days how Alexis could possibly navigate this impossible situation. She was suddenly caught between a rock and a hard place, forced to choose between protecting her closest friend's company and fighting for her right to be in her granddaughter's life. I have spent so much time thinking about the ethical nightmare Alexis is facing. Perhaps she tried to look into the JJE files for Brennan but came up empty-handed. Or, more likely, the sacred bond of attorney-client privilege stopped her in her tracks. Alexis has fought so hard to rebuild her life and her career. The very last thing she wants is to be stripped of her law license all over again. I can deeply sympathize with her struggle. She loves Scout with every fiber of her being, but risking her entire professional identity and betraying a dear friend is a terrifying line to cross. This brings me to my theory on how she ultimately decides to target Willow. I strongly suspect that Alexis, being the incredibly sharp and observant woman she is, has connected the dots regarding Brennan, Willow, and Nina Reeves. Maybe she noticed the subtle alliances forming, or perhaps she accidentally overheard a hushed conversation that she was never meant to hear. Once Alexis realized that Brennan has been bending over backwards to protect Willow, a light bulb must have gone off in her brilliant mind. Instead of ruining her own career by stealing from Jax, she realized she could use the explosive secret of the shooting to force Willow to do her dirty work. Just imagine the pressure Alexis is applying here. She might be demanding that Willow use her own leverage to squeeze Brennan, forcing him to hand over the dirt on Drew without Alexis having to betray JJE. Alternatively, Alexis might simply be bypassing Brennan altogether. Now that Willow is a congresswoman, she holds a tremendous amount of public power and influence. Alexis could be blackmailing Willow to use her political weight to force Drew's hand. Either way, Alexis is playing a very dangerous game of chess, and she is using Willow as her most powerful pawn. I honestly cannot blame Alexis for her fierce determination because a grandmother's love knows no bounds, but she is definitely playing with fire. My heart genuinely breaks for Willow in this scenario. She is already living in a state of constant suffocation. Having recently moved back into the Quartermaine estate, she is buckling under the weight of Michael's rigid, controlling rules. He is treating her more like a prisoner than a partner, and now, on top of all that marital strife, she has Alexis breathing down her neck with a threat that could destroy her entire life. Willow is a public servant, a congresswoman who is supposed to uphold the law, and yet she is hiding the fact that she shot a man. The sheer panic and terror she must be feeling right now is almost unimaginable. I can see the walls rapidly closing in on Willow. She is trapped in a loveless, controlling environment. At home, her mother Nina is blindly risking everything to protect her. Brennan is entangled in her mess, and now her darkest secret is out in the open. The spoilers suggest that Willow is headed for a massive psychological breakdown, and I completely believe it. How much can one young woman take before she simply shatters? I find myself watching her scenes with a knot in my stomach, waiting for the moment she finally cracks under this unbearable pressure. And then there is Drew. I have to admit, my patience with Drew has been wearing incredibly thin lately. His controlling nature has gotten completely out of hand. Not only is he punishing Alexis by keeping her away from Scout, but he has also been isolating Scout from the rest of her family, especially Danny. Drew seems to think he can micromanage everyone's lives, completely blind to the emotional damage he is causing his own daughter. He is so focused on his own grievances and his own sense of authority that he is breaking the hearts of the people who love Scout the most. This is why the upcoming reunion between Scout and Danny is going to be so incredibly powerful. The spoilers have hinted that Danny and Scout are going to share a joyous, emotional reunion, and I just know it is going to bring tears to my eyes. These two young people have missed each other so deeply, and their bond is a beautiful reminder of the innocent love that survives amidst all this adult chaos. Seeing them finally together again, smiling and finding comfort in one another, is going to be one of the most touching moments of the season. However, I also know that this beautiful reunion is going to act as the spark that ignites a massive explosion. When Drew finds out that his strict orders have been defied and that Scout and Danny have reconnected, all hell is going to break loose. The fallout is going to be spectacular. Drew's desperate need for control is going to collide violently with Alexis's blackmail scheme, Willow's impending breakdown, and the undeniable bond between the children. It is a perfect storm of emotion, secrets, and family loyalty, and I am sitting on the edge of my seat waiting for it all to unfold. As I reflect on all of this, I am just so struck by how beautifully intertwined these families are, and how one desperate choice can ripple out and affect everyone in Port Charles. Alexis fighting for her granddaughter, Willow crumbling under the weight of her sins, and Drew blindly pushing everyone away. It is storytelling at its absolute finest. I feel so deeply invested in their journeys, and I cannot wait to see how they navigate the treacherous waters ahead. Thank you for letting me share my heart with you today, and I will be right here watching and waiting alongside you as this incredible story continues to unravel.